Joe Petterjanis! I'm not a cop. I love it when people introduce me as that guy that works on cars. I mean, I do, but still, it's just rude. I have a name. A coworker pulled this on me the other day. He brought over a bookkeeper from our office. First words out of her mouth. How much is it to fix my car? Do I look like a fucking psychic? That's what I thought. What I said was, what's wrong? She said, I blew a seal. I'm like, did your car break down at the zoo? There's one less car I have to work on. People always ask me, why are you such an asshole? The only thing I can think of is, I went to Catholic school. All my emotions were crushed at the hands of Sister Yolanda and her wooden ruler. If I laughed, if I smiled, I got the ruler across the knuckles. Yeah, and the ruler was just her short-range artillery. Yeah, she carried a yardstick if she was lecturing class walking around. She'd get you from 2 aisles over. I admit, I got into a little bit of mischief when I was in grade school. Like one time, I got into trouble for peeing on a kid. We'll call him Ben, because that was his name. Anyways, another boy and myself, we're in the restroom. We're, in front of the urinals, and we're peeing, and we're stepping back to see how far we can pee. We were back about 4 or 5 feet when Ben walked in front of us. Ben got baptized. But that wasn't holy water. I mean, who does that? Who walks into a restroom all willy-nilly, with blinders on? You see a couple guys standing there, lined up with the urinals. They got their pants undone. I mean, you gotta think, something's going on here. What do you think we were doing? Making, balloon animals? It's a snake. Anyways. Ben started yelling, and I have to admit, it sounded pretty good. You know how the acoustics are when you're in the shower. And I had just enough time to pull up my underoos before Sister Yolanda came running into the restroom. Thank God she didn't have that ruler. Who knows what she would have hit. Another time I got into trouble, it was a few years later, and I was an altar boy. The nice thing is I was serving Mass with my brother Bob, and I like that because when Bob and I served Mass together as altar boys, we'd play a game. We'd see who could make each other laugh first in church. So Bob and I are sitting up there behind the altar. Father's over at the microphone giving his sermon, and I start tying the ends of my rope belt together, and I make a big knot. And I stick it up underneath my vest. And I get Bob's attention. Bob starts laughing. I win. Now I got this other dilemma going on. I tied my knots too tight. So I got to walk around with this bulge for the rest of Mass. The other thing I got going on is Sister Yolanda is now staring at my crotch. It's probably been at least 70 years since she's seen an erection. I don't know what's worse. Her coming over here and lifting up my vest and seeing I'm not hung like a horse, or her thinking that I am. After Mass, she came and grabbed me by the elbow, led me to the back of the church. She's like, Joseph, I want you to think clean thoughts and pray to God to help you with your problem. She left me. She went to get Father, and I went to a drawer to get a utensil and pick at the knot. She came back about 5 minutes later. She said, "Did you pray to God to help you with your situation?" I said, "No, I used a fork." I used to lay awake at night trying to think of ways to get even with Sister Yolanda and the other penguins that made my life a living hell. And then it came to me. I took all the money I had out of my little Velcro wallet. 12 $1 bills. And on each one of them I wrote, "I'm as kinky as they come. I pretend that I'm a nun. If you'd like to have some fun, call 633-8321. That was the number for the convent in that small town where I went to school. I then went out and spent those $12. If you find one, think of me.